everybody. Welcome or welcome back. It's Paula here with Paula's Imperfect Plans. Thank you for joining me for another video. On my channel, we do all things my personal finance as well as personal planning. Today, we are doing a finance-related video. It is Transfer Tuesday. For anyone not familiar, Transfer Tuesday is where we look at the progress that we've been able to make toward our financial goals in the last week. I started doing this every 2 weeks instead of every week because I really wasn't getting much in between paychecks, and we're paid every 2 weeks. So I've been doing it the Tuesday following payday. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at our transfers for the last 2 weeks. So we received our high yield savings account interest, which is $47.95. The rollover left over from our 8/22 paycheck when we closed it out was $8.48. And then after everything, the portion of our paycheck that was able to go towards financial goals was $490.50. So that leaves us with transfers totaling $546.93. So now we'll jump over to our spreadsheet. All right, so here is our goal spreadsheet. This is from Debt Free Jessie, and it's laid out in a 12-week year type situation. So the first goal that we're going to go through today is probably our least important, and it's a goal related to travel. We fund this a little bit with each paycheck. I'm currently saving up some spending money for our Dominican trip that's coming up in November. Everything else for it is covered, so this is just the random extra spending. So we put $50 towards that today, which brings us to a total of $405.61. So that $500 is 81% funded. Next up, we are working on our building up our emergency fund. We are working on a 3-month emergency fund for a total of $9,000. We are currently working on month 2. So coming into this week, we have $1,110.73 toward week 2. Month 2, and $4,110.73 total. So we're doing Save 2025 and 2025 towards our emergency fund. And so we cross out some different squares on that particular tracker. Usually it's around somewhere between $70 and $80, I would say, is the average. This happens to be a high week. There was one $100 square. And so we did that with this paycheck. So $100 went towards that today to bring us up to $1,210.73 in that month 2 and $42.10 total. So 40%, we are 40% done with month 2 and 47% done with the 3-month emergency fund as a whole. And finally, last but most certainly not least, this is our main focus. This is our final personal debt. It is a Wells Fargo balance transfer card. It started out as our home equity line of credit, which essentially we've treated as a second mortgage and then a loan to improve our property over the years, and working on getting that paid off. It was split into 2 credit cards. Capital One card is gone, and now we are down to the Wells Fargo card. Coming into this week, our balance was $3,196.13. So we took $47.95, which was our high yield savings interest, $848, which was our the rollover from our previous paycheck. And then with our paycheck on Friday, the 5th, we were able to put $340.50 towards this debt. So that's a total of $396.93 that we put on this in the past 2 weeks, which brings our total to $2,799.20. We are 62% of the way done with this last debt. What I have here, that 92%, it just shows our HELOC as a whole, since our last 2 debts started as one, and then I split them up. I'd like to see how close I am to having that HELOC in total paid off, which is 92%. Specifically, the Wells Fargo card and the tracker for that are at 62%. It doesn't feel sometimes like we're making progress, but we don't come in here each week anymore because it just seemed like it didn't make a lot of sense. There were a lot of weeks where I wasn't doing much toward it. If I didn't have extra plasma money coming in, I don't have anything much to put on the weeks in between our non-paycheck weeks. So coming in here every 2 weeks and seeing it add up, and it's slow, but it's way ahead of where I was going to be. The last card that we paid off didn't have to be paid off till March of 26 for the interest, and this one doesn't have to be paid off till August of 2026. I thought I was giving myself a stretch goal when I said that once I paid off the city card, which was way faster than I expected to pay it off, I said I was going to pay this off by the end of the year, and it seemed like a pretty huge stretch goal. And now I'm down to, I want it paid off in November. I don't even want the month of December to have a single debt payment in it. So the motivation continues to work. So we're going to get while the getting's good, I guess, for lack of a different term. So thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear down below. Leave me a comment of what you're working on, if you made progress toward any of your financial goals. And sometimes that's just, I didn't go over budget on groceries. And that is being successful in a financial goal. Staying on budget is super important. So each of those little wins that we have need to be celebrated, because if we're not focusing and not appreciating the positive of staying on budget for our groceries, which sometimes I don't, if we don't appreciate that and focus on that, if we're not staying on budget in our groceries, we don't have extra money to put other places. There's a pretty good chance. So I would love to hear about it down below. Please like and subscribe before you head on out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.